Big money is selling, but crypto whales are also buying. So what's going on in the market? Plus, these two altcoins are seeing some serious real-world adoption with big institutions coming in. This is your Altcoin Buzz news. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Cody, and if you're new here, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't drop latest content. Follow us on Twitter, altcoinbuzz.io, and as always, is not financial advice, and wish the best of luck in your crypto ventures. Also, make sure to join us for our X Spaces, Tuesday to Friday at 9 a.m. EST, link down below. All right, good morning, Crypto Flush survivors. We unfortunately came down here to $98,000 yesterday, but we thought this was going to happen. So hopefully you guys were prepared if you saw the video yesterday. We said, this level here, this level of support has finally been broken through. And most likely we're going to come and fill in these wicks here of this, October 10th flush, and most likely come down here towards this wick right now. Now, one thing is we stopped slightly before it, so that is a little bit worrying to me. Maybe we have a green day today. Usually we don't have multiple red days after another, multiple flush days. So I wouldn't be surprised if we had a bit of a bounce today. Now, what you're going to want to see is, though, we're going to want to start to reclaim this level, the support level around $107,000. What we don't want to see, and what we're going to show on all the alts today, is we've broken through this level of support. Now, one thing is we're going to come back up here, and we're going to retest this at some point between $105,000 and $107,000. We're going to retest this level from the underside now, which is not ideal. And so if we have strong bullish momentum, we ideally, come down, maybe retest here, and then we break through. And this is what we want to see. And this is, strong momentum, which we want to see across Bitcoin and altcoins. But unfortunately, what might happen now is that since we are on the underside here, we might come up here and we might come back down and do a kind of lower high here, maybe take out some of these lows here below $98,000, take out this wick, which we haven't fully touched yet, at least on the Binance chart here. And so that is a possibility. But if we don't want to see that happen, we want to see Bitcoin come up here, retest this, maybe consolidate underneath this level of resistance, and then break through again. Hopefully this comes in the form of maybe a government shutdown ending, maybe some great news coming out, whatever it might be. That is what we want to see for this, to reclaim this level and be strong again. Because right now we have broken through this level of support. It'll be soon turned into a level of resistance if we come back up here. So that's what I'm watching for today. Usually after these big kind of flush days like we had yesterday, we tend to have a strong bounce green day like we're having right now. And so I wouldn't be surprised if it's a green day and maybe we come back up to this level, but we're really going to want to watch and see what happens there. Now, starting off today, we have Weimar saying breaking, Binance is dumping Bitcoin, BlackRock is dumping Bitcoin, and Wintermute is dumping Bitcoin. Overall, $1.14 billion worth of Bitcoin has been sold in just 4 hours. A new cartel is forming. A lot of times, though, these are very fear-mongering type posts, because a lot of times when BlackRock or these other ETFs are selling, it's not actually them selling, it's their clients. They're just the custodians. So a lot of times it's still retail clients with a lot of money who are just selling out of fear because, price is going down, and they think maybe this is the top as well. So I will say a lot of times these posts kind of exacerbate the fear in the market, and it doesn't necessarily mean that BlackRock is selling. It is just a lot of their clients. Now we have the Kobayashi later saying the $1 million question, what's happening in crypto right now? Crypto markets have now officially raised over $1 trillion of market cap since October 6th. But why? The answer to this question seems to be more technical than fundamental. That is, crypto adoption is still at record highs, deregulation is in full swing, and technology is advancing rapidly. However, leverage is at an unprecedented level, which is amplifying moves in the market, such as the $20 billion liquidation seen on October 10th. As a result, when uncertainty arises or technical momentum fades, downward swings are amplified. 300,000 traders are being liquidated per day on average, and the market has evolved into its most reactive form in history amid Trump posts and headlines. The long-term thesis is stronger than ever, but the short-term picture points to larger swings in both directions. Leverage is a wild drug. At the same time, we have Lark Davis sharing that Standard Chartered to launch Bitcoin and crypto custody services in January 2026. And China suspends their 24% US tariff and maintains a 10% one. So we have this potential good news coming out as well, but we also still have the government shutdown and all of this uncertainty. At the same time, we have Trump to make a huge announcement at 1 p.m. Eastern time today. He's going to address the recent market crash, which a lot of times these crypto guys think everything that Trump says is going to be markets or crypto related. And I have a feeling it's probably not about that. I have a feeling it's most likely maybe about the government shutdown or a trade deal with China, which is still important to know about. I don't think it's going to be addressing like the crypto market crash. It's just kind of funny that that's what they always think. And that's what this guy said here. He says, why does the Bitcoin community always think he's going to talk about crypto? I don't think that's the case. It very rarely is. Then we also have whale pump, and this is potentially the reason for the real dumping going on. So we have he says, yes, Wintermute is suing Binance. And if you don't know, Wintermute is one of the largest market makers in crypto, and a lot of times they tend to liquidate a lot of people moving prices back and forth for their own gain. So Wintermute is suing Binance, and yes, they're not the only ones that got wrecked. They lost hundreds of millions. I have all the names of who's about to blow up. It's not going to be pretty. Unless TZ finds a way for compensation, this is going to be bad. For weeks, everyone in the backstage has known, and sharks love the blood. Don't think this is another FTX. This is purification. And you can see here, he also says, coming soon, watch them deny everything as they try to reach last-minute agreements to avoid further damage. Problem, I have all the documented evidence, even Evan G's DMs literally begging everyone to join the lawsuit. Oops, I know people on both sides. Allegedly. Sorry, I just talked to my lawyer. At the same time, we have the Wintermute CEO who says there's literally no plans to sue Binance, adding nothing has changed since the original tweet. The comment comes amid speculation that the firm planned legal action following the largest liquidation event in crypto history. So this is the CEO, and he said, they don't plan to sue Binance. But obviously, if you're suing Binance, you wouldn't come out and say you were suing Binance just yet. So hard to say, if it's real or not. This is him also talking about how they got ADL'd on Binance after the liquidation crash, and he predicts lawsuits and challenges from trading firms in the future.
So starting with ADL, effectively it's supposed to be a matter of last resort. So like generally, okay, you enter in the purple position, like at some point you run out of margin, you're gonna get liquidated. So that's kind of normal. And usually the way exchanges do it, they just liquidate you on their own platform. If they cannot do it, they're supposed to, well, basically the insurance fund is supposed to take a hit. And the ADL was like never involved for, I don't know, years, I think, like on most of the platforms. Simply because like it was never that drastic. But ADL is supposed to be the matter of the very, very last resort. And that I think is where we will see a lot of, well, basically challenges from a lot of trading firms to a lot of exchanges in the coming days and maybe weeks.
So are they going to be suing Binance? Well, it's hard to know, but at the same time, it's also just a thinner liquidity in the market. We know that Wintermute and all these other exchanges don't have the money to be, market making like they did before. And so unfortunately, prices going up and down a lot faster than without these market makers. So I think it is going to still take some time for this to come out about what funds have kind of blown up or had a lot of money on Binance. Similar to FTX, not quite as bad in terms of everyone literally losing their money. But I think a lot of funds are hurt worse than we know. And so I think it's going to take a little bit of time for that to come out. We also have CryptoRust who shares Mara bought the dip and aims for their next play. The world's second largest public Bitcoin miner, Mara, just told Bloomberg they bought the dip during October's liquidation crash while everyone else panicked.
If you look at what happened in the course of October, none of our positions was negatively affected. So we actually went in and acquired Bitcoin opportunistically, as price allowed us to do it.
Right.
We said at the end of our Q2 call that we felt the market was frothy. It's coming to levels where we think it's appropriately priced now. So
CoinEx is one of the best exchanges you haven't heard of. Like Gate.io or Mexi, they offer a lot of coins. But more importantly, they offer the high quality coins you want. In fact, over 800 coins and over 1,200 trading pairs are available. They also have a great new program going on right now as well. Just sign up with the link below and you get up to $100 USDT to help your account get going. The offer is only good until November 9th, so get in there and get your bonuses soon. So click the link down below and give CoinEx a try today. And then moving on to Ripple XRP, we have Eleanor who says, and another one, so far we have Canary Funds, Bitwise Invest, and now FTI US updating their XRP S1 filings for the XRP ETF, which should be coming out very soon. We also have, is XRP the new Bitcoin for ETFs? Analysts see $1 billion plus in easy inflows as SEC reforms shorten the path. And John Squire says, buckle up, the XRP ETF movement is in full motion, and the giants are already on board. Franklin Templeton with 1.5 trillion, WisdomTree 113, ProShares 70, Grayscale 40, and 21 shares 7 billion, and the list keeps growing. Wall Street isn't watching XRP, it's joining in. At the same time, one thing, this isn't a lot of money, but it's a very interesting post. We have Vivo Power and K-Weather signed heads of agreement for XRP Reserve and the Weathercoin project. So while it's not the most amount of money in terms of crypto terms, it's just interesting the different projects that are coming out to launch different digital asset treasuries for crypto. And the Vivo Power and K-Weather are doing it for Ripple and XRP in South Korea. Now, XRP, like Bitcoin, has broken through this level. We didn't quite come down to this level of support like we were expecting, around $2. which is totally fine. What we want to see is we want to see it break back above 233 at the very least. What might happen is if we come back up here today and we retest this as an underside retest, we might come back down if Bitcoin also wants to sell off. But at the very least, what we want to see is we want to start to see reclaim this level around 230 and then coming back above here. What we really want to see for a long term is we want to see it reclaim this level up here around 275, because this is the real level of strength shown in the market. If we can break back above this level here, which was the major breakdown, the October 10th breakdown in the underside retest. So if we can get back above 275, it'll be very strong, and you can kind of say the bull market is still on. But at the very least today, we want to see it reclaim this level around 235 to show, at least in the short term, there is some strength in XRP. And moving on, we have a mysterious whale is aggressively accumulating ETH. 2 weeks ago, this mysterious whale with 610 million USDC borrowed 66,000 ETH for $265 million from Aave and deposited into Binance at $4,020. In the past 2 days, he withdrew 174,000 ETH for $621 million from Binance at $3,568. After repaying his debt, he still holds over $108,000 of ETH, a profit of $29 million plus. And we also have Tommy Lee's Bitmine just scooped up 82,300 ETH for $305.82 million, while everyone's panic selling. Institutions are accumulating, or is this just another manipulation? And Look On Chain also shares, despite the recent ETH drop, many whales have been buying the dip, accumulating 323,000 ETH for $1.12 billion over the past 2 days. So even though a lot of these institutions are selling, which might be also for retail clients, a lot of crypto whales are still buying this dip. And we have learned the trader shares bullish. Japan is moving to classify Ethereum as a regulated financial product by 2026. Institutions want clarity. Clarity brings capital, and capital builds markets. The next phase of ETH adoption has already begun. And at the same time, we recently shared that over $6 billion in ETH shorts has piled up near $4,000. A break back above this could trigger a massive short squeeze across all exchanges. So I think that is very possible. We've seen a huge amount of shorts pile up recently. So I think a short squeeze is definitely in the cards in the short term. Now, ETH here, a very similar situation. If we come back up to around 35.50, we could reject here as an underside retest and continue back down, which we don't want to see. What we do want to see is we want to see it come back up here, retest, and then kind of consolidate underneath here, and then break back above this level of resistance and turn it into support again and reclaim this. And that's when we get back above around 3,700-ish. Once we're back above there and we're reclaiming this level, that's when we're going to be looking strong on Ethereum, and we can start to kind of go long and expect the bull market to continue. However, if we reject here and we come back down, it's not looking good, and it's just another lower high here. And so unfortunately, that would be very bearish if we came back down here. So this is what we're looking for today. We want to see it break through this level, this blue box here over the next couple of days. And then last for today, we have Quentin sharing and breaking. UBS just used Chainlink to execute the first on-chain tokenized fund redemption in a $100 trillion market. There isn't a single project in crypto with this level of real-world adoption. And Coinbureau shares Chainlink to power cross-border CBDC trade. Banco Inter chose Chainlink to enable real-time CBDC settlement between Brazil and Hong Kong under Brazil's Drex pilot. And Chainlink is also partnered with FTSE Russell to bring global indices on-chain. The FTSE benchmarks like the Russell 1000 and the FTSE 100 go live via data link for the first time. So Chainlink is bringing a lot of markets on-chain. And lastly for today, we have Chainlink saying X402 by Coinbase is now the first AI payments partner for the Chainlink runtime environment. X402 is a protocol launched by Coinbase that enables APIs, apps, and AI agents to transact seamlessly over HTTP. So even though we have all that great news on Chainlink, it is one of the weaker looking coins right now. We broke through this level of support here around 1559-ish. So we broke through this level of support. What we don't want to see is we don't want to see it come back up here and then immediately reverse today and do an underside retest back down. We don't want to see that. At the very least, we want to see it reclaim this level. But ideally, we want to see it reclaim the high before the low, which is around $17.60. We want to see it reclaim this because it will then set us on a series of an uptrend. The market structure will shift back to an uptrend here. So if we can reclaim this, we'll have a higher high here. And so once we get back above that level, that's when we can say Chainlink is starting to look good again. So unfortunately, we are waiting for this huge inefficiency to be filled between $15 and around $17.50. So we have to wait for this to fill in today. I wouldn't be doing too much on Chainlink right now, but we don't want to see it come up here and then just reject over the next day or so. That would be very bearish for Chainlink. So that's the video for today, guys. Most things are pretty much looking the same. I will say Bitcoin is pumping up today. Usually after huge liquidations like yesterday, we do have a pretty green day as a bounce. So I wouldn't be too surprised if we came back from, we came back from around $99,000. I wouldn't be surprised if we came up towards around $105,000 today, especially at New York Open. And we have to wait to see what happens for this underside retest. if this is going to be a lower high and we're going to reject from here and go back down, or if we're going to consolidate here, hold strength, and then continue and break through this level of resistance and turn it into support. So that's what we're looking for today on Bitcoin as well as altcoins. And that is the video for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow.